Welcome to this week's SGSB Podcast. I'm John.
I'm Vince.
I'm Braden, and for the first time ever, we are on video.
You can see how hideous we are now.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
It's probably not, but
The one guy who should wear a hat isn't wearing a hat.
That's it.
I mean, you don't have any hair to cover, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, so we're doing the video thing. So every time I see somebody after hearing only their voice, and you get that mental image of what they look like, and then you see them in person, you're like, oh, that's not at all what I thought they'd look like. I think nobody's going to have that problem with Vince.
Yeah.
They're like, 100%. You hear Vince, you're like, that's got to be what he looks like.
That's exactly what he looks like.
Exactly what he looks like.
Fuck you two.
I know they said he looked like Paul Giamatti, but I didn't expect for him to look like a carbon copy of Paul Giamatti.
Or Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
I think you're doing that more than Paul Giamatti right now.
Yeah, dude, I'm not Paul Giamatti. I ain't got no more beer gut, all right? I'll work that shit off.
There you go.
Fair.
Fair. We'll give it to you. You're now Lex Grossman.
Les Grossman.
But it's a good day. It's
what?
Hello?
Excuse me?
What?
Floor's yours.
It's. I was gonna say I wanted to get into this because I wanted to fight about this in the podcast. It's a good day. It's National Tequila Day, and as such, I'm sipping on some tequila. And John apparently has a problem with tequila, and I don't know what that problem completely because tequila is delicious.
Mainly, it's based around the fact that it tastes like shit. Now there are.
You're not drinking the right tequila.
I will say that there are a few exceptions. One is if you're having a margarita, because I do love those. But it's like I can't just drink tequila.
Yeah, but what tequila are you drinking?
Well, I'm not drinking just tequila.
I've tried all kinds.
No, John. What tequila?
I've had Patron. I've had, I don't know. I don't drink tequila. So I just basically whatever somebody hands to me. But every time somebody's handed me a shot of tequila, I'm like, this tastes like cat piss.
Dude, because
what I think cat piss would taste like.
It's fucking Cuervo, man. Fuck that shit, dude. You gotta get like.
I've drank 3/4 of a bottle of Jose, and that was not a good.
Cabo Wabo, Don Julio 42.
No, not a tequila fan.
I mean, I wish I had some.
If somebody said, go get a shot of something, it's whiskey. Because whiskey is the only correct answer to let's do a shot.
Yeah.
I actually like
I'll agree with that.
Scooby Snacks.
Am I wrong? It's like, what do you want? It's like, I'm going to go get you a shot. What do you want? Jameson or whiskey. I don't care. It could be anything.
Yeah, usually it's Jameson. If you want to fuck people up, you get gin.
Oh, no. That's one thing that we can both agree on. Gin is for people 85 and older.
Gin falls into that category. It's like sherry. You have to be over a certain age to drink sherry.
Yeah,
I also
100%.
realize that hand motions don't really work.
Not
I know, so I'm just talking. I'll do this.
With my sweet Red Bull background here.
I mean, I drink gin. Fucking delicious.
But you also are the oldest man I know. Like, simultaneously combined with, like, somebody that's young and full of debauchery.
You know what I'm really pissed about? They took away the newspaper, so I can't do the crossword every day.
You're kidding me.
That's the oldest old man thing I think I've ever heard.
You just proved my point in one sentence.
The average age of people who come into my work are 65 and older, and that was just the oldest old man thing I've ever heard come out of somebody's mouth.
This is coming from the guy that plays, how many rounds of golf do you play a week?
What is a round? 18 or 9? Or do you just want to
How many times do you put your clubs into the back of a car and drive to a golf course every week?
Well, see, the clubs are always in the car just in case you get.
The clubs don't come out of the car in case there's ever a good day.
Car. 'Tis the season.
I don't know why I said that because I know you always keep your clubs in your car because we've been friends for a while now. Okay, so you are the oldest man on earth.
I'd say I'd average like 54 holes of golf.
You just complained So 54 holes of golf a week, and you just complained about the crossword being gone out of the newspaper.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, thank God F1's keeping this shit active, man. Because I mean, with that,
We should probably get onto that.
Yeah, speaking of F1.
Speaking of Formula,
you're welcome for the glorious segue, you fucks. You know.
yeah, wow.
Credit where it's due. We are a Formula One podcast. That was a good segue.
Yeah. Congrats.
It's just we're trying to fill some time here because the Hungarian GP kind of sucked.
You know, I had that thought when I watched it. I was sitting there and I was like, this is kind of boring. Like, we need a safety car. And then I think we came into the season so hot, just screaming into the season, that it really wasn't a boring race. I mean, think of the most boring race you've ever watched in Formula One.
France.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the one that comes to my mind. Can you think of a more boring race than France?
Abu Dhabi.
No. Even Abu Dhabi's not that bad because the championship's normally wrapped up. You got people that are fighting for 2 and 3, and it's not the worst track in the world.
In fact, I would say Abu Dhabi is probably not the most boring because, like you just said, people are trying to finish up, and the midfield battle is always the good battle anyways. So top's already figured out by Mexico. So
Mexico's a boring fucking.
I mean, think about the mid-pack this year at Abu Dhabi. It'd be like, McLaren or Racing Point or whoever.
Thank God we don't have to see that shithole of a circuit.
No, they're still doing it this year.
Oh, fuck! Are you serious?
Yeah,
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, not even we could be that lucky.
No,
it's not confirmed.
Yeah, it's not confirmed, you dumbass.
I thought it was I thought it was like probably going to happen, or it was like still tentatively on the calendar.
I don't know about that, but all I know is there's only 13 races confirmed, and none of them are outside of Europe. At least as of right now. I know that there's still talks of Asia at some point, but even that is still up in the air as they've just started to have new spikes. Vietnam is still up in the air. China, I believe, is still technically up in the air. Malaysia, Sepang is in talks to possibly come back.
Maybe I just saw that it wasn't ruled
on stone
out
yet.
I mean, I could only see Malaysia because that thing is so remote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's such a remote course. But dude, China ain't happening. Vietnam ain't happening. I mean, fuck Bahrain, fuck Abu Dhabi. I think they're just gonna keep it in Europe this year, which
I guess it hasn't. It hasn't officially been canceled. Maybe that's kind of where I was at.
Maybe.
I'm just happy that it's. I mean, dude, I'm excited to see all these new circuits. We need to talk about Hungary before we get into this shit. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, let's just power through
I'm just saying, I don't have to watch Mexico or Brazil this year. Fuck yes.
Oh, what's wrong with Brazil?
Dude, if it's not
hang
wet, it
on.
sucks.
We were going to talk about Hungary, but no, fuck you. Brazil is a fantastic race.
If it's not wet, it sucks.
Disagree.
Mexico is also good.
No. Mexico's a snooze fest.
Mexico is always great because all the high-powered.
I've got it. Vince doesn't like these races because they're races that Red Bull can be good at.
You're right.
Not Mexico.
Mexico
is one of the only races Red Bull can be good at.
How many times has Max won Mexico? He's good at that.
Because the higher powered cars are so choked of air. For whatever reason, the Red Bull knows its way around that, but Mercedes sucks at Mexico. Ferrari sucks at Mexico.
Yeah.
It's it's always good because you don't know what's going to, Ferrari sucks all the time.
I just find that track boring as fucking Mexico.
I like Mexico.
It's kind of Monza, Russia-esque.
One of those two, I choose.
It's Monza with a baseball stadium in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Love.
It's good.
And how
you don't give Mexico credit it deserves.
I'm more dumbfounded about Brazil. I don't know how you can't love Sao Paulo.
Yeah, that's 100% that's like it's a cult classic race.
I love that track. I think it's one of the most interesting tracks on the calendar. I always look forward to Brazil.
I think it's only good when it rains.
I mean, it's excellent when it rains, but it's also good normally.
Yeah, I mean, maybe last year was the first time it was good, not wet. If we would go back, dude, that track is a fucking procession. Snooze fest. The top 10 are getting lapped.
It's small. You can barely overtake. People got to take risks.
See, that's the thing. Vince doesn't like those tracks. What tracks do you like? Here, I know we're supposed to be talking about Hungary. I'm just curious. What tracks do you like?
I like Coda.
Oh, well,
hell
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Coda's amazing.
Texas.
I'm not just saying that because I'm American.
But no, but that's a fun track.
That is an
right?
amazing track. Okay,
Monza.
that's one.
Excellent track.
Monza? Okay.
Austria always has a good race.
Well, Austria too wasn't amazing.
Okay, well, we've already discussed that. Look, if you get to retake a test again, you know the fucking answers. So,
fair.
Right?
All right.
Let's see. Silverstone is good. France sucks fucking dick.
Yeah, France is terrible.
Monaco is only good for the prestige. Other than that, it's.
I love Monaco.
I mean, I love watching it, but in terms of raciness, come on, guys. Right?
I mean, think about all the that 1 year Danny Rick won it.
Yeah, with only fourth gear or something like that.
Yeah, like he couldn't get out of fourth.
Yeah, but if that would have happened at any other track, he would have been.
Oh, he would have been.
Well, yeah,
I know, but
it was
that
at Monaco.
is the allure of Monaco. I give Monaco that, but Singapore is a fun track to watch.
I like Singapore.
Japan's a great track to watch.
What about Azerbaijan? That street circuit.
It's good, except that straight is super fucking long.
I know. I like that track. I think that one's actually a lot of fun.
It grew on me. The first year I didn't like Azerbaijan, and then the next year I started liking it more and more. So,
what other track has the opportunity to crash into a castle?
Exactly.
Right. Sochi is a fucking shithole.
Oh, fuck Sochi. Yeah.
Sochi's terrible. Right? All right. Hockenheim is good.
I like Hockenheim.
Hockenheim is good, but we get the Nürburgring this time, so fuck yeah.
We're totally doing this out of order, man. All right.
Yeah.
All right, back on track. Here we go. We're going to wrap up Hungary.
Hungary has good races at times, too. That's another decent track.
All right. Well, this one was okay. I'm going to put this solidly in the okay column of races.
It was the race that could have been, is the way that I put it. It could have been a great race. It threatened to be a fantastic race. We thought it was going to be a fantastic race, and that's maybe why we think it was a little bit better than it was, because we were always thinking that something was going to happen. There was the anticipation that you needed to be ready for, rain to come, because I think from lap 20 to lap 50 or 60 still, they were still saying, all right, rain in 5 minutes.
Drivers were calling out rain.
But they started to show the radar of it, and I was like, oh, that bitch is passing. John, you knew it too. You watched it, and all of a sudden you saw it, and you're like, bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye. It was...
There's nothing.
The race to be, but still, Hungary is kind of like Brazil in this sense. It's good, decent, in the dry, but if it turned into rain, fantastic, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at with Brazil is Brazil could be good, but you need a hard charger. You need someone to break off the strategy. If they don't, then it's a fucking procession. Here, no one
Gasly beating Hamilton to the line last year.
Exciting.
Okay. Strategy got him there.
Hamilton spinning out Albon because Albon's a superior driver.
And cuck.
Because there was a cuck on the track, right?
Yeah, his name's Hamilton.
Yeah, that move was fucking stupid. Oh my god, what an idiot! Fucking Hunt the Shunt Part 2, right? That's what I'm saying. Without the rain, you just said it. It was the race to be.
What's a track that's better in the dry? A race is always more exciting in the rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Canada?
Arguably the best ever race at Canada was a race where it rained.
True.
And that was Canada
Circuit of
2011.
America has been pretty good, and I don't think it's rained on race day.
Oh, there was that 1 year it poured all weekend.
It chucked it down, I think, 2016.
It was second year that it was there or something that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That'd
still,
have been
that
2014 then.
dry or wet is still really fucking racy.
Yeah, I mean that it is just a solid track.
Same with Monza. I put Monza in that category of dry or wet. It's going to be fantastic.
See, I think Monza's a good circuit. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. For me, it's not like I don't look forward to it every year. Like, oh, it's Monza this weekend. Like, for me, I'm like, ooh, it's Silverstone. Like, Silverstone's always a good race.
It is, and it can get better in the rain.
Yeah, I see. I like Hungary because it's like that. You know, everybody calls it Monaco without the walls, and it is. It's just like you see them ripping through those corners, and you're like, that is so much downforce.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those moments where you look at the car and you're like, it's amazing that can even do that.
Right.
For
even the Alphas, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you can watch a Williams go around that track, and it's like that's pretty impressive.
Well, I mean, look at George Russell. Look at what he did.
Look at George Russell and Latifi in Q2.
Both Williams.
Both Williams in Q2. Russell almost getting into Q3.
Dude, it hurts me to still drink Lavazza when I see that fucking thing on the side of the cars of Williams. It hurts.
I mean, it's good coffee.
Oh, fantastic. I drink the shit out of that every morning. Like 6 cups of espresso.
Speaking of qualifying, though, how about Kimi Räikkönen being out of Q1 for the 4th time in a row, and the first time ever in his career, just on pure pace, qualifying at the very back of the grid?
Hey, that Alpha is bad.
I think it's time for Kimi to go crawl into a bottle and leave us.
You guys remember when we thought at the beginning of last year that the Alfa Romeo was going to be one of the surprise best cars on the grid?
I was hoping you would never bring that up.
We are a long way removed from that Alpha, my friends.
Well, remember when we saw that front wing and we were like, oh my God, it might actually be good. Like, they're doing some crazy shit with the aero.
It's so different.
And here we are. Although, that being said, the Ferrari was really good.
Yeah.
And now everything Ferrari powered right now is garbage. Just hot and wet garbage.
Trash.
Horrible trash.
Just fucking wet, hot garbage, dude.
Something else that was not stellar was Albon's qualifying attempt. And he was unhappy with Red Bull.
Yeah, he was.
Albon is getting pissed, and rightfully so.
He is. And Russell came out and said that he doesn't know what's going on, but they're making him look like an idiot.
Did you see what Max said?
Yeah, he told him basically to shut the fuck up and worry about his own car.
Yeah, well, you put Max Verstappen in a Williams, and I don't think he'd do any better than Russell. But
no, I don't think he would either. I think the Williams is just what it is. In fact, I think Russell's probably overdriving the Williams. He's probably putting it in places that it shouldn't be.
I think you're right. I think we've said that time and time again is we've seen what Russell can do what the fuck? We've seen what Russell can do in a Mercedes.
That's the car.
And that's the one. That's the team that he's owned by. We've seen he's Alonsoing that Williams right now. And he's getting more out of it than is ever capable. That's why he's consistently ahead of Latifi. I mean, maybe Latifi getting into Q2 also means that the Williams ain't half bad. I mean, it's certainly not the worst car on the grid. You can argue it's not even the second worst. I think it's the third worst. I think it's the Alpha. I think it's the Haas, and then I think it's the Williams.
Well, here's an interesting thought for you. If you're a young driver in F2, and somebody says, okay, of the back marker teams, which one do you take? And honestly, it's like, I wouldn't want to be in Haas. I wouldn't want to be in Alpha. Not the way they look this year.
You go to Williams for the heritage.
You go to, I think if you're a young driver, you would pick Williams.
Toro Rosso.
Podcast.
Yeah, 100% podcast. But no, I think that
Toro Rosso is not a bad shout.
Toro Rosso is not a bad shout. You're right. Alpha Tauri.
Alpha Tower. God damn it.
But yeah, no,
Alpha.
George Russell was saying that, him, Alex Albon, and Lando Norris have all been in the same. They've grown up racing together pretty much. Damn it, cat. Knocked down my Ricciardo poster. Fuck you.
There's two? What the fuck? These things
there goes Senna too. Senna went down as well. There goes my setup. Russell was saying how he, Albon, and Norris they went up the same. They went up the ranks together, and Albon was always competitive, and the fact he is, that much behind his own teammate, George Russell called it out. He said it's shenanigans, it's bullshit, and it may be true. We can get tinfoily with that a little bit later. I think there's at least some merit to it.
Well, and he came on the radio and he complained about being put into traffic, which if you watch that, the track radar GPS, it showed that, they released him too late and they put him into traffic, and then Horner surprisingly defended those actions even after qualifying. And then even plus in the race, he said, we apologize to Albon for what we did in Saturday. And I was like, what the fuck? When was the last time we ever heard this guy apologize?
I missed that.
I don't know, but I just have this strong feeling that he's being gaslighted right now. Or Horner's coming out and he's saying,
trying to.
"Oh, we have all the faith in Albon and blah blah blah," and it's like behind the scenes, I just feel like he's about to get fucked.
Well, who are they going to put in there? Kvyat, the torpedo's back?
You want to get into this right now?
No. But
no.
Let's continue with qualifying. I mean, dude, that was a fun one to watch in the rain, right?
Oh, yeah. That qualifying session was probably one of the best ones I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I loved how they were like, oh, no, we're not going to race the cars. And it was like the drivers fucking piss-pounded out laps. I mean, that was great to see the track come alive there at the end of Q1.
Oh, God, yeah.
In Q2, and then it just carried into Q3. And then, of course, our favorite Yerman on fucking Ferrari in Q3 decides to fuck up your boy's lap. I think he did. Legitimately, I don't
think he did it on purpose. What does he have to gain?
No. He didn't do it on purpose, but he kind of did. I think it's on Max, too, to kind of see that he was going in the pit lane, but
the pit lane is on the racing line.
It is. That's the problem.
But that's kind of on Max to where it's like, dude, maybe you should have seen this coming, or Vettel should have gone over, right? It's this weird wishy-washy fuck shit. I laughed when I just see Verstappen skidding across, and they're like, oh, this lap was ruined. Oh, this was the pole-sitting lap. And then fucking count another second off that, and then Hamilton comes ripping through with the lap. Like, I don't care if Verstappen would have finished that. Hamilton had pole.
Oh, yeah, no. Credit where it's due. Hamilton put in a flyer. I mean, not even close. Not even.
I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, Hamilton he's always solid in the rain. I mean, he just is.
Mm-hmm. You know what? They kept on saying, oh, who's the best in the rain? They're like, oh, Verstappen, Ricciardo, and then they said like, oh, Sainz is becoming good in the rain or something, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I would say it's Verstappen and Hamilton battle for the rain god right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's a toss-up. And you guys know how I feel. It's like, that's a toss-up.
I think Hamilton is an exceptional driver in the rain. I think he's an exceptional driver most of the time, all the time. But that whole rain thing, I think you're right. I think Max and Hamilton are right at the top there, and then Ricciardo is good in the rain, but after that, I think it kind of tapers off. I think those two really stand out, though, as like the rain drivers, specialists.
Falls off the cliff after those two,
Yeah.
Hamilton, I was going to say with Hamilton, it doesn't help that, I mean, he's almost the best he is, whatever reason, at Hungary. I mean, he got a 7th pole that tied Schumacher's record for the most amount of poles at a specific track. Yeah. We all know he won, and he tied Schumacher's records of race wins at a specific track. But I mean, if you watch that pole lap, that Mercedes just stuck around that circuit. I mean, there was no movement, and they weren't shy about it. I think I heard Toto say, I don't remember if it was Toto or somebody else, but he said that the car was moving around less than others, and it's in a group of its own. I mean, and it's 100% right.
Kind of hard to disagree with that.
Yeah.
When they were showing that, like afterwards, like the post commentary, oh my god, dude, I couldn't get over it. But dude, I think it's DOS that helps them. I think that DOS fucking did something for them in the wet there.
Well,
the fact that he was able to shave off
the tires.
I know, but a full fucking second in qualifying, like, dude, that's taking a fucking 12-inch dick to the face.
Yeah,
like you're fucking getting American challenged up the ass.
That's a lot to handle.
Yeah,
it's a full second.
I mean, fuck. I didn't believe it. I was like, that's bullshit. That was like maybe the sector, or I was like, how the fuck did he just pull off a second? And then they kept on replaying it, and I was like,
let's kind of get into the race there. So Max, was it in the warm-up laps before the race, or
it was? Yeah, it was coming to the grid. It was the last parade lap coming to the grid.
Fucking just it.
Hits the wall and breaks the entire front of that car.
Oh my god.
And the Red Bull mechanics go out there and do what I've heard between an hour and an hour and a half. God, that's a sentence. Between an hour and an hour and a half amount of work in 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they had 25 seconds before they had to stop, is when they finished.
That's unbelievable. Like, that's insane.
And it was all legit. Like, it was. Max said the car felt brand new. I mean, he raced it around for 70 laps. Nothing went wrong. Didn't have any tire issues, a left front or anything like that. It was perfect. Yeah,
it's unbelievable, and to the point where I think it was during the first or the second lap, or it must have been a few laps in, Hamilton's radio engineer, or his engineer radios in, and he goes, gap to Verstappen is 7 seconds or whatever. And he goes, I thought Verstappen was out.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, they got the car fixed. It is like, shit. Like, I think it's funny that he didn't even realize he was still in the race. Like,
100%.
Guys starting, second on the grid.
Well, I mean, I thought that was impressive, but I also was dying of fucking laughter. I'm like, my coffee, I got the coffee, and I look over, and he just biffs it in the wall. It's like, yes.
It was very Grosjean-esque of him.
Ericsson hit him.
Grosjean. That was more Grosjean than Grosjean.
Very true.
He out-Grosjean the Grosjean?
Well, he out-Grosjean the Grosjean.
I can think of a few places where Grosjean's crashed where I've never seen another driver crash. Leaving his pit box during a safety car.
Dude, that's like a whole podcast worth. But I mean,
oh
no, talking about the start of the race, fucking hell, dude, I was yelling at my television. Fucking Bottas jumped that bitch.
Yeah, he did.
Jumped it. How the fuck did they not penalize that son of a bitch?
So from my understanding, the rule is that as long as you don't leave your box, it doesn't trigger the sensor, so it's not considered a jump start. Even though all of us with the gift of sight could see that
which is a stupid rule.
5 red lights and Bottas is moving.
Well, what were they saying? It was 0.2 of a second is the gap, and they counted the frame by frame, and he went to in the frame is 1/20th, he went up to 5 or 6, and it was like, oh, he's right there. I was like, yeah, by a
jumped the start. He jumped the start.
Yeah, no.
It's like,
but by a cunt hair, he jumped it. I was
hit the brakes, and it ruined his. I think the thing is, he didn't gain anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like,
but
it
still,
hurt him
the rule is the rule, though, dude. You don't jump the fucking start. Don't try to defend him, dude. Fuck that. He jumped the start, and that asshole should have been docked back.
I'm trying to give some parity,
No, Fuck that, dude. Fuck Bottas.
Devil's advocate here.
Dude, if he would have jumped the start and costed them lots of championship points in the constructors, then, dude, that asshole would have been out of that Merc seat. I was rooting for that. And they kept on saying, oh, no, it's not going to happen. I was like, dock that fucker. And I'm like getting hyped up on espresso. And I'm like, come on. Fuck this asshole. And like, I was rooting for him to biff it in the wall. I was rooting for some like Alpha Tauri to just come in and plow him from behind because he butchered the start. He was slower than molasses on ice. Fuck him.
I think you got some pent up something going on here.
Oh, dude, fuck both.
Fuck that asshole. Wanted somebody to ram him from behind.
Look, John, you just got to
Am I reading too far into this?
Oh, I think you are. I think John just needs to come up to the north. We'll show you a nice asshole, buddy.
Oh, I will happily stay in Las Vegas right now.
I need to come up to the north, but he does a southern accent.
Listen here.
Shouldn't it be like, oh, you need to come up to the north, buddy?
Oh, you need to come up to the north, don't you know?
We got some fun women for you up here, don't you know?
Oh, yeah,
oh,
you know those starters. Oh, yeah.
You know. We just feed them cheese all the time, dude.
Oh, yeah, just put some oats in the hands, and then you got yourself some nice breeding stuff.
How many Molsons have you drank since you've been up there?
0.
Really?
I don't drink fucking Molson.
How about Labatt's?
Labatt's?
0.
What? What's the point of being up north if you're not going to drink Canadian beer?
Hello?
Dude, Molson ain't that great.
Well, yeah.
Crown Oil have you drank?
Okay, yeah, I drink a lot of Crown.
Okay, there we go.
All right. We're getting somewhere.
I was worried there.
There you go, Northerners.
Yeah.
Wait, also, how are you getting Shiner up in bumfuck middle of nowhere?
That's what I'm wondering.
Fucking find the right liquor stores, man.
Did you scope out? Hold on. Did you scope out where to buy Shiner?
Yeah, certain liquor stores have it. Certain liquor stores don't.
That is disgusting.
But why?
Wait, you would rather? All right, let me pose this to the other presenter of this podcast, Braden. Would you rather drink Molson or Labatt's over Shiner?
1,000%. I'd rather eat my own shoes than drink another Shiner. Shiner sucks. I'm sorry. I live in the great state of Texas now where that shit is brewed, but Shiner is awful. I will gladly down Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer, 1,000 times over before
now we have to talk about Busch lattes and fucking McGolden Light.
Some Busch Kitties.
I do need to try some Busch lattes, and Busch just came out with some Busch Apple, which apparently is pretty damn good. I need to get my hands on that.
Have you ever had a McGolden Light? I know they don't have those down south.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's some like northern beer up here, and fuck Michelob Ultra, dude. McGolden Light's better.
I will push some Busch Heavies right down my throat.
Oh, dude, Busch Heavies are the best.
That's not the straightest thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth, but that's okay.
Busch Heavies
Ain't
are
nothing
good.
gay about Busch Heavies, boy.
Yeah, but dude, like, I can sit down and take down a 30 rack of Busch Lights, man. You put me on the golf course, I'll take down a 12-pack and drink the other 18.
That's all flight school was with my instructor. It was Bird Dog, which if you've never had Bird Dog, it's awful.
Never had it. Never heard of it.
Well, it's like the cheapest, shittiest, like, I think it's bourbon. But it's
no.
Bad. I mean, like, it comes in a glass bottle, but barely. So it was
it's like Last Light.
It was Bird Dog and Busch Lights, which my old instructor Alan, shout out, he used to call them Busch Kitties for some reason. I don't know why, but it stuck. So now
still stuck.
Yeah, Busch Lights are Busch Kitties. Anyways,
Fleischmann vodka came in a plastic container, bottom shelf.
That's
whole
Burnett's.
handle for $8.
Burnett's.
Fleischmann's $8 for a 175. It smelled like turpentine.
The worst thing I've ever drank was like straight up rubbing alcohol, and it was called McCormick's Potato Vodka. Was literally what it was called. It was the cheapest bottle of vodka that
sounds industrial.
It was. It could have taken fucking paint off shit. I swear to God.
Wow.
You know what I love is this shows how bad the Hungarian race was. That the fact that we can talk about booze, like, fuck the race, dude. I mean, like, honestly, I'm done. We know what happens in the results.
All right.
Like,
so, yeah, Max got second.
Hamilton
but you know
won,
what?
Shocker.
This leads into more drinking because,
mm,
God damn it feels good to win. You know how good it feels to win?
You.
oh yeah, for the first time.
Because you're boring as shit. That's the only reason you're winning.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I was the only person that predicted anything other than a Mercedes 1-2. How is that boring?
Yeah,
whatever.
You
you still.
You know what though? I will,
because you ain't me. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
I got the top 5 in the wrong order. So
Given your life right now, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Look, John, I was the only one who got the top 5 drivers, but not in the right order. So.
Well, you get no points for that, sir.
Well, I award you no points.
I know. Well, Mister, I'm gonna, fucking call this bullshit. Like, all right.
Get it through us. Let's go.
All right. So here's the thing, for our viewers and listeners around.
This is the first video ice that we're gonna have documented as a group.
The video podcast ice. So, as you all know, I won. This is not shocking because I'm on an absolute tear.
God, do we need to recall last year, Braden, when this motherfucker was Ice King?
But in this year of our Lord 2020, I am destroying predictions right now. I didn't get any of the bottom 5, but I did get the top 3. Hamilton, Verstappen, both tests. Nothing else matters. I got 3 points. Braden.
Me.
You correctly predicted Hamilton in 1st and Albon in 5th. Everything else, nothing. Just nothing. So you got 2 points.
2 is better than none, sir.
That is very true. And I know what that none feels like. Vince, you correctly guessed Hamilton in the top 5. And although you did have everybody in the top 5, they're all in the wrong order.
Yes.
There's no bonus points for that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
And what saved you, or kind of saved you, what gave you an extra point, was Grosjean getting a penalty for talking to his engineer on the opening lap and being demoted 1 place.
Which is bullshit.
So you didn't even guess it correctly as far as finishing order, but due to a penalty and a technicality, you get 1 more point. 1 more point.
Still a point, bitch.
So you and Braden both have 2 points, which is a problem because the way we used to determine, who had to get iced was...
You know what, though? I've thought about this.
The Leclerc bogey.
I got 1 in the top 5 and bottom 5. Braden only got top 5.
It doesn't matter.
You got that bottom 5 point out of a technicality.
On a technicality.
But no, please, John, introduce us to the new tiebreaker.
So, the new tiebreaker that we've decided on, off camera.
Which will come in effect next week. John, make no mistake, Vince and I both lose, so at the end of this, we're both going to punishment. However, after we realized that this was the issue, we came up with a new punishment, and that is John, or a new tiebreaker, and that is John.
So, the new tiebreaker is every week we will try to guess in what position Daniel Ricciardo will come. We're going to call it the Danny Double. Brilliance here. So, we picked somebody that was going to be mid-pack that really was going to be challenging for top 5 or podiums, but is better than bottom 5. So, gotta guess where Danny Rick is. If you guess correctly, you get 2 points.
On the nose.
On the nose. And if we get into a situation where we have to have a tiebreaker, whoever gets closest to Danny's finishing position does not have to be punished. Sound good? Everybody in agreement?
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So I see Vince has the the Rocket Pop flavored Smirnoff Ice, which I'm really upset you didn't put your thumb through that can.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm on carpet, so no.
I am also on carpet, but I'm going to be a man, and I'm going to still shotgun it. But I'm not going to put my thumb through the can because I'm a weak little girl, and I have weak little thumbs. So I'm going to use a key and traditionally do the shotgun method.
He's going. Oh, is he going?
Wow,
no,
what an asshole.
No, he poured it into a glass. He was just getting the last
Okay.
Man.
I have the glass.
Vince, you might have to take off your background so we can actually see you drink this.
Yeah,
will it come into focus near your face? No. It works. I think when he drinks it. Okay, Braden's going to ruin his carpet now.
I'm going to ruin my whole setup
so
here.
Much better
so we're just
visually. Now the listeners can see the agony.
Oh God.
Good news, I didn't ruin anything. I managed to find the air bubble.
Man, we really need to teach you how to put your thumb through that.
You just need to come to Texas. You can frickin' fly anywhere you want, anytime you want. So just fly down here and teach me.
I mean, I can, but only in my own plane.
Well, you basically have your own plane.
Look, all I know is I should be sponsored by fucking Smirnoff at this point this year.
You're gonna be a man, and you're gonna do the proper punishment, which is getting down on one knee and not just chugging it.
You do have to get down on one knee, so
that is the point of an ice. You may need to turn off the Nico Rosberg. Well, no, maybe.
No. All right, that'll work. All right, one knee. Here we go, boys. 3, 2, 1. Punished. That's not a Smirnoff Ice. It's a Corona Seltzer.
But it's all
Fuck that. That's fucking bullshit. You had a lot of time to go buy fucking Smirnoff Ice.
You know, I forgot that I lost because losing isn't a thing that I normally do. It's the thing that you normally do. So
do we need to go back to last year?
I reached into the back of my fridge and I found the closest thing that I could find.
Oh yeah, Braden? Oh yeah?
I'll allow it.
It's a seltzer. It's not a beer.
Counselor.
I did shotgun it, and I was on my knee, so it was the proper position.
I guess, okay, so here's the thing. Is it considered a girly drink?
I would say so.
Vince?
I mean, it's a seltzer. It's automatically less manly. I drink the fuck out of them, and that's not going to stop.
Too. I love me some White Claws.
But it is arguably, if you speak to any other manly man, they will never drink a seltzer in their life. So.
Oh, no, Braden. I'm glad you chugged one of the Coronas. Now, if you have, what is it? Oh, it's the, pineapple or coconut one. It tastes like fucking sunscreen. Oh, yeah, no, wait. Look, we get bored up here, and we just decide to drink till we forget that we live up here. So
I actually dry heaved right there. That was bad.
Yeah, the coconut one tastes like fucking sunscreen.
All right.
Let's put a fucking fork in it. Hamilton equals Schumacher's record. Yep. He's the first driver to win 3 races in a row at Hungary. Let's suck Hamilton's dick a little bit more. Paul DiResta. There have been some dominant cars in F1, but this Mercedes is the most dominant one that I've seen so far. Hamilton is 5 wins short of Schumacher's record of total wins. They've gotten to do normal podiums again, so that's a plus.
The robot's gone.
The robot is gone. Thank Christ.
Thank God somebody they listened to our podcast.
They did.
We complained about it and they changed it.
Yep.
Why do I feel like we're a bunch of Karens?
Directly influence Formula One. Nicholas Latifi became the first driver to be lapped 5 times in a race since Jules Bianchi at the 2014 Australian Grand Prix. And 2020 Hungarian GP was the first time that both Ferraris finished a lap down since the dog shit 2008 Ferrari at the British GP.
Look at you with all of the facts. Jesus.
I've got all the facts. Fuck Hungary. Let's get into some fun stuff, which is the news and some tinfoil time.
Woo! Hey.
Sorry. Happy birthday, Claire Williams. 7/21, her birthday. was just a couple days ago. So threw that in there for you.
Why did we bring that up?
Fuck are we?
I hope you don't have a happy birthday, Claire.
I mean, fucking get your head out of your ass.
The day
keeping George Russell at that team against his will. That was her present.
Mm-hmm.
The day that we were supposed to record, which was Tuesday or Wednesday, I forget, was the day that Vettel put his UPS car into the DHL wall and handed Hamilton his 6th world title.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Never forget.
All right.
That was hilarious.
I know we got into this earlier where we went off on our tangent of discussing every single racetrack known to man.
Yeah.
But we do have some extra races that have been added to the calendar, further enlarging the 2020 season. The interesting part of it is that they're races that we haven't really seen in years.
Which I've never seen personally as an F1 fan. And at least one of them is where we never thought that we were going to race again, which is the Nürburgring.
Right. Yeah. We're at the Nürburgring. And terrible memories for Kimi Räikkönen, but
yeah.
It's so we get the Nürburgring, and that came off of the news that Hockenheim wasn't going to be able to do it. Something like that.
I didn't see that. I mean, that may be the case, but we all thought that it absolutely had to be Hockenheim if there was going to be a German Grand Prix, because there's no way they're ever gonna race at the Nürburgring again. They don't have the money to get it Grade 1.
Right.
All the reasons under the sun why Hockenheim has been the go-to for the last 10 years or however long it's been. But here we are. We're back at the Nürburgring. Maybe because they don't have to pay to host it, because there's not going to be any fans there. I don't know what the deal is and how we swung that one, but who knows?
No, I mean, and that's what I fucking hate is pay to host it, man.
Yeah.
That's some like Olympic shit. It's fucking bullshit. But I mean, it's great to see like Nürburgring, right? Imola is fucking back. And then we
Portugal.
We have Portugal.
Portugal
looks good
for its first ever F1 race. Now, I had a thought about this when I looked at the track layout. Look at Portugal.
It does look small.
Tell me it doesn't look like a really angular version of Circuit de Catalunya.
Yes, but that it modeled it a little bit after that. But I mean, fuck, man. When was the last Portuguese Grand Prix? I mean, that was early 2000s.
I believe I looked it up. I think it was 96.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think it'll be great that these are 3 tracks that they have not been in over a decade.
Oh, and that'll be great.
Mugello to do.
Current driver aside from Kimi is going to have any experience at any of these tracks.
Right, but I mean, I think that's fucking fantastic, man. Like, we talked about how it's like no one's gonna have any data, so it's just gonna be a shit show and a fucking half. Well, and a lot of these tracks are bendy and twisty, so it takes away that top end speed of the Merc.
Yeah, but Portimao, an F1 car has never been to Portimao. The one that they used to race at was Estoril, and that was in 84 to 96.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't.
This is a brand new track for everyone.
I know, but isn't that exciting?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I mean, I saw the news. Braden, you texted it to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah! Like I was getting off the golf course in the morning, and I was like, fuck yeah! And I showed my South African friend Nick, and I was like, dude, brew, this is what we got. And he's like, they should bring back Kailami. And I'm like, I fucking know.
You have been saying that for years.
That was so funny is there was a tweet that was all that's missing to come back now is Kailami and Rainbow Road. And we'll have the we'll have the one calendar for the century.
Yeah.
Dude, Kailami, dude.
That is a good circuit. But and the one that I'm probably the most excited about is Imola. I fucking love Imola. Imola is such a cool track. I love that straightaway that's not actually straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just
Oh, yeah, no. The moment I saw those three, I was like, who the fuck read my dream list? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, honestly, I know F1's supposed to be a worldly sport, but where are the best tracks? They're in fucking Europe because they've built these over the fucking years. I mean,
no, the calendar is looking really good.
Dude, the calendar is making me just go, yeah. Like, I'm just fucking bursting at the seams for this shit, dude. It's insane.
So here's what we got. We get Silverstone. Let's see.
Silverstone,
twice.
2.
Spain, Belgium. So we get Spa. So here we go. Spa, Monza, Mugello, Russia.
Yeah.
And then
Nürburgring, Portimao, and then Imola. Taking the USGP.
Are you telling me that we could end the season at Imola? Like, that's just fucking just-tastic.
Fantastic.
Fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, I was so happy to see those races. And we still have Mugello. I mean, like, dude, oh my God. Like, I can't fucking wait. Like, I made sure to upgrade so that I could fucking record these races. Like, I got the DVR and everything ready to go. Like, I'm not missing a single moment.
Does he not know what streaming is?
Apparently, Vince just aged himself again with the mention of a DVR.
I got a TiVo.
Hey, actually, I do have a TiVo.
Jesus Christ. All right, I changed my mind. That's the oldest old man thing I've ever heard.
Dude, nobody has a TiVo
you can
anymore.
Stream everything online now.
Look,
I don't have cable.
Are you gonna wake up
everything on the
3 in the morning to watch the practices?
They have replays.
No, I don't have to.
There's replays that are saved in the cloud, my friend.
You can go on the ESPN app and watch every replay of every practice session.
Yeah, but dude, they always fucking, chop out the fucking shit and they just give you the highlights.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. They will show you the entire thing.
I ain't trying to fucking have to deal with that. Set the recording and fucking wake up the next day and watch that shit.
Yeah. They're fast forwarding through commercials.
Hell yeah,
get all the commercials.
It's fantastic. This morning I paused the TV and I got to fast forward through the commercials while watching the morning show.
Just take me back to 2005.
Vince is sitting there in the morning going, I gotta throw the tape in the VCR and press record.
Boop, 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 boop.
Dude.
No,
it doesn't make that stupid fucking sound. But dude, I'm telling you, dude, when like Morris show comes on, I'm like, I pause that shit, and then it's like the results are in, and I'm like, pause, let me go make some breakfast, fucking restart that shit, and
he watches fucking Matlock.
No, well, dude, I don't watch that. I watch trash
He's sitting here watching Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
Hey, easy there. Chuck Norris is a fucking national hero, you son of a bitch.
Wow.
Vince is sitting there recording practice sessions over his copy of The Lion King on VHS.
Yeah, he's just taping over everything. And he only has a couple of tapes, so he's just got to keep taping over the same thing. Eventually it gets so trash quality because it's been re-recorded over time.
And his tape's running out.
Dude, when Best Buy had their final fire sale, I got all the VHSs I could, all right?
God.
I've sale supplies people's old VHS tapes.
I go to garage sales and find the old Disney tapes so I can record over them.
Oh my God, I can see it.
Fuck you both. I'm recording this shit now, so fuck you.
God, I'm just gonna make it my mission to send Vince like files of all of the races and practice sessions.
I've never met a millennial so far back in the past.
How are you gonna send it to me? What, email?
You're joking.
Text?
This is coming from the man who doesn't believe in social media.
Yeah. So
were you born in 1975?
Probably, dude.
No, because Megan's parents were born then, and they have a smart house.
So,
getting back to F1, I think this is just
Formula.
Wow. let's get a little tinfoil. I'm a little bit buzzed. Let's get tinfoil. Let's talk about some things that might happen in the future. Because it's basically halfway through the season like it would normally be. John actually just completely disappeared into the abyss. I caught up on Ted Kravitz's notebook because I was frantically scratching for things to talk about because we're doing 2 podcasts. We're doing a review and a preview next week. But it was interesting because he caught up on a couple of things here that this might be Grosjean's last year in F1.
Yep. I agree with that.
There's a couple of reasons for that. He asked if he was going to carry on with Haas next year, and Grosjean was kind of like, he was expecting, I'm focused on this season. We'll take, next season, whenever it comes. But Grosjean responded, I'm kind of tired of not racing for wins. So I don't know. I have to think about it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, he straight up said, I don't like that we're shit. I maybe want to race in a different series, maybe sports cars or something like that is what he's hinting at. So he said, don't be surprised. This is Romain Grosjean's last year in F1. And this is where tinfoil comes in. This is where I think it's all more of a reason for Perez to go to Haas next year because Vettel is going to take his seat at Aston.
So
you heard it here. You heard it here first. Perez is going to bring all of his money to a struggling Haas that needs money. They need sponsorship. They need money that they can put into that car, and they need a better driver than Romain Grosjean.
Okay, so here's...
And we all know Lawrence is not going to sack his son.
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah. And I mean, even during one of the practice sessions, they were talking about it because all the rumors are flying around that Vettel is in talks with... You've seen him talking to Lawrence Stroll. He's connected and talks of going to Racing Point. He's obviously out of a seat.
It's
yada.
It's all over social media. It's all over fucking Twitter. It's all over Facebook. Sergio Perez basically came out and said, I don't know what the future holds, but we're taking it at a time.
Right. Yeah. They were talking to Lance Stroll, and Lance goes, well, they're like, oh, what do you think about, rumors of Vettel being in the team next year? And Lance Stroll goes, well, I don't know, what's going on, but I just want a teammate, whoever my teammate is next year, I think was his exact words. I just want them to have like a good attitude. So he, no bones about it. He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm daddy's special boy.
Pretty much.
Like, I don't care if it's Checo or if it's Vettel. I'm going to be here so they can figure out that other seat.
I'm gonna say something you don't hate. I'm gonna say something you hate. Judging off of last race, he deserves to be there a little bit more than Perez does.
One race.
1 out of 3. I mean,
One.
if he continues this trajectory, he's certainly shown that if you give him a good enough car, he's not half bad.
So what I heard was that on his last couple of laps, he was being coached through almost every single corner.
So is Lando.
But the difference is Lando's seat isn't, at stake for a 4-time world champion. The thing is, right. I don't think Checo needs to be coached through. I think Checo knows what he's doing.
You're right.
I think of the two, 9 times out of 10, Perez outqualifies him, and 9 times out of 10, he finishes higher in the race than Stroll does.
I'll raise you this point. Purely taking, the fact that his dad owns the team out of it. Yeah. Stroll is younger by a good margin.
Yeah, but you've got a team that is going to be potentially fighting for wins. And, it's like strike while the iron's hot. They're doing well right now. Why would you want to throw out your most experienced driver right when you have the best chance of scoring points and getting constructors' points?
because you have a proven 4-time world champion that can come in.
Yeah, but I mean, proven 4-time world champion can come in, and of course, Daddy ain't gonna boot his own kid. But subjectively, like John's getting at, it's like, dude, like that shit is fucking like, how would you take a guy who bailed out? That team owes everything to Checo.
Lest we forget,
those people
Checo saved the team.
People owe their fucking jobs to Checo in the last year and a half, or the minus last season. Before that was Checo who funded that goddamn team. And I may not be the biggest Perez fan, but they funded that. He funded that team.
You are so right, and I'm not arguing with that because 100% he made that team. He's the reason why that team is still there. But Lawrence Stroll doesn't need his money.
No, and that's the shitty part.
No, but his loyalty doesn't mean anything at that point. I guess
absolutely not.
But that's I think the problem is we all are fairly certain that Checo's out of that team through no fault of his own. I felt the same way when Stroll booted Ocon out of
but
team.
See, now we get to come to my part. Yes. How the tables have turned that Perez strong-armed his way to get Ocon out. A younger driver.
How did Perez strong-arm him out? Stroll.
Dude, once he bailed out the team, you know he was secured. And Daddy Stroll bought into that team.
I mean, I think he just did what he needed to do to keep racing.
I think he was like, I want to keep racing this car.
Yeah, well, booting out Ocon and we had to deal with Stroll, Perez got fucking karma. It's a bitch. But Perez should go to Haas. Honestly, it's North America.
I agree. I think it'd be a great idea for Perez to go to Haas.
And Haas should.
I think Perez going to Haas will be the only way that Haas is still in the sport next year.
1,000%. I agree with you.
The other part of this whole tinfoil driver movement conversation, though, is we have Alex Albon, who is all of a sudden not doing well in the car, or not as well as they think he should be. There's always been that talk of bring Vettel home, that whole thing, his connections with Red Bull, he left them amicably. And if you're Vettel, why would you not want to pit two teams against each other to see who signs you first? It's a win-win. You get the two top teams behind Mercedes on the grid. One of them is going to sign you. Who cares which one it is, but you're forcing one of them to snatch you up before the other one does. If he was just hanging out there in the ether and only one team was interested in him, who gives a shit?
Right.
But now that there's, question marks over both teams, I am still not ruling out a Vettel return to Red Bull. I'm not. Just the way, if Albon was solid in the car and they're like, oh, we're so happy with Alex Albon, he's doing such a great job, then I'd be like, yeah, it's not going to happen. But the fact that there's question marks and there are two other drivers that are in their junior team are already drivers that have been in a Red Bull car and have been sent back down, who does that leave? They're not going to pull up a young driver straight into Red Bull. It's kind of looking that way.
Well, they've put themselves in that position of putting themselves in their own. Well, no, but I mean, okay, so you bring back a four-world champion who's now going to have a car that could win races and compete for the championship, and you got Max Verstappen all fucking waiting in the wings, ready to get his first championship. Yeah. I'm sorry, unless Vettel goes into complete fucking Rubens Barrichello mode, he ain't gonna do it. I don't think that Vettel can really get to that point. I really don't.
I don't think he can either. But Dr. Helmut Marko is not what we call a sane person.
No,
you make very good points, John. And I was totally on Sebastian Vettel back to Red Bull. I was totally on that train, even going back to last year when we didn't know if it was going to be his last year with Leclerc coming in. But the only reason why I don't think that anymore is it's basically written on the wall that he's already taking that seat. Racing Point is already in talks with it. Red Bull has completely denied all their involvement with Sebastian Vettel. I mean, of course, it's true that nothing is true in Formula One unless it's completely denied. You're right about that. But Vince does bring up a good point.
Certain Christian Horner saying, "We have all the faith in Pierre Gasly. His seat is not at risk. He will finish up the season."
You are right, and even I brought that up last week, even. But I don't think you kick Albon out of the seat to bring Vettel in, because Vettel will want to go back to Red Bull for a glory year, and you're not going to take that opportunity away from Max.
But here's the thing: I think if you're Red Bull, you bring back Vettel for a year.
Maybe you do it for 1 year in the last year before the technical regs come, and Max arguably has his best chance to win. But I don't know, man. I think I see it already written on the wall that he's going to Martin, Racing Point, Piss Racing, whatever it is. I think it's already written on the wall. We've got, as of today, July 24th, we've got 4 days before a decision has to be made on Checo's get out clause on his contract, where they can choose to renew him, because he does have a multi-year deal in place through next year, where they can choose to let that go, continue on with him, or they can choose to let him go and go somebody else. We've got 4 days to see. It'll get posted before there's an announcement, almost indefinitely. But I think it's already written on the wall that Seb's taking his place and he's looking elsewhere, possibly out of Formula One, because he himself has said, I've been in talks with people outside of F1 or whatever, whether he said it was outside of F1 or in different scenarios or however he worded it. There was slight speculation he might go to IndyCar, or he might go to something else and pursue other options, and that this is his last year in F1. So yeah, I think Seb to Aston Martin is the most likely scenario as of this point.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, could I see him going to either one? Yeah, I could. I could see him going back to Red Bull for a glory year. I could see him going to, Aston Martin, whatever, for their, carbon copy Mercedes that they have. But, I mean, if you're Seb...
And that's going to be a competitive car. We don't know if Red Bull is. We know it's number 2, maybe number 3, but, I mean, that Mercedes is the Mercedes of 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So, that you can almost count on that as being the second best car on the grid.
Here's the question, though, is after this whole investigation's done, whether or not they're found guilty or not,
that's a good point.
There is question marks around that team, because if they say, nah, you can't do what you did, you can't copy that car, and it's got to change for next year, Racing Point's back in the midfield again.
They're fucked.
Yeah. So, do you go with Red Bull, who, I mean, has done well with Aero, or do you go to a team that's kind of a gamble?
Well, are they driving Aston Martin engines, aren't they?
No. Well, I mean,
it'll still be a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Aston Martin is not entering in their own power unit. I think there was conjecture about this sometime last year where Aston Martin and maybe Porsche, I think, were going to enter back in the new regs, but that has been shut down since then.
Which, I mean, the connection makes sense anyways, because Aston Martin's road cars use Mercedes engines anyways.
True.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, Checo's out, though. I mean, that's the bottom dollar there.
If one of those drivers is leaving, it is Checo.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the logical move is Checo to Haas, Grosjean out.
Magnus.
Vettel to Aston Martin. I mean, because Vettel's not going to go to Alpha. Alpha is likely going to be taken up. They're either going to blow the team up, or it's going to be Gio and Schwartzman.
Yeah.
Because I think this is Kimi's last year.
Ready.
As much as I hate to say it, Schumacher's not ready. No, I don't hate to say that. As much as I hate to say that Kimi Räikkönen is probably out after this year.
Yeah.
it's probably going to be Schwartzman and Gio. God knows why Gio is still in the seat because he's fucking awful. But it'll Ferrari commands that seat, at least one of them, and Schwartzman is looking like he might win F2. So
he's doing really well. It's interesting to see. I mean, we're going to find out sooner or later who's going to go where and how that seat movement goes. And I found it interesting that when they interviewed George Russell about him moving potentially to Racing Point, it wasn't like, I'm here with Williams and like whatever. He was like, I'm contractually obligated to stay here. Like I think he specifically mentioned Claire. Like, Claire wants me to stay and fulfill my contract, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you think about it. He's a young driver. Toto represents him. Racing Point uses the Mercedes engine.
I think.
I would love to see Russell move up to that seat because it's a car that he could do stuff with. It's like a Mercedes.
It's like a Mercedes for now, barring the Renault protest and, the FIA may or may not deem that they can't do what they've been doing. I don't think George Russell goes in any other seat but a Mercedes. He and Bottas are obviously taken up for next year, but I think that's going to be the last year that they're in their respective teams. I agree. I think you get Russell in the Mercedes in 2 years from now, because if Hamilton wins this year, which, let's be frank, he's probably going to, then 2021 is the same car, same driver lineup, same whatever. He matches Schumacher's records if he wins those next 2 years. So he's either out matching the greatest, or he wants to go for one last year, but they don't want to bring Bottas back. They want to give him, they want to pull Russell up to the seat. Pick and choose however you like. Oh my God. Pick and choose however you like. I think Russell is 90% in that seat come 2022.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of hard to see differently.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Something I forgot to mention earlier, though.
As he says, like, we aren't on video, that he was just gone for that whole conversation, and he comes back and he just agrees with the last thing that he hears.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
So you do agree that Hamilton's
Christ,
a total wank?
Yes, that's what we were just talking about.
We were just talking about that
while you were there.
He can be a wanker and a good driver. So
we got a little bit off of it. Well, let's get back on the Ferrari news cycle here. Is that they have come out and said, I think it was yesterday, that they're going to do a technical shakeup, which frankly is a long time fucking coming. I think Matteo Binotto should be out of that fucking manager spot.
Absolutely.
But he said, after 3 races, it's clear that we are in worse shape than we expected, and we need to react without delay. The entire car project has to be revised while taking into consideration the limits currently imposed by the regulations, which I thought was funny because they basically just said, we know we cheated last year, and that is not within the regulations anymore. But we need to do whatever we can within the regulations, expose some kind of a loophole to just fucking be better, to put it simply.
So they bombed I mean, God, Binotto hasn't done anything for that team. It's in a worse spot than when he took over. And I mean, like you look at what they were saying in preseason. Oh, we've completely changed the philosophy of the car. Yeah, they have, but they did it awfully. It's terrible.
Did you know that they just created a new performance development department? like an F1 team wasn't already focused on getting performance out of the vehicle.
Of the car. Oh, what were we doing here?
Who fucking knows? Clearly not doing anything good for performance.
Guys, we need more performance. Let's build a team. If that's not the most corporate structure thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's about the most Italian thing that you've ever heard in your life.
Just get it done.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how Ferrari, which is a company that specializes in building fast cars and only fast cars, and that's all that they do, is having so much trouble building a Formula One car that's competitive.
But the thing is that the things that remained unchanged is the dude that's in charge of the power unit, which is what is clearly lacking and is the reason why they're so far behind. Is they're down 50 horsepower is conservative estimates, and what are they doing?
Yeah.
I mean, bring back a Riva Bene, but that won't happen.
No, they won't do that. But I really.
Benito needs to go back to the fucking drawing room, dude. Put the engineer back in the engineering department.
He's what they did? They're doing the most Italian thing ever, and they're trying to live in the past, and that is emphasized by the fact that they brought Rory Byrne back, who was the key architect of the Michael Schumacher era of Ferrari dominance, and one can argue that is what Ferrari has tried to do since Michael Schumacher left. Is go back to the Michael Schumacher days.
It doesn't apply anymore. It's the cars are completely different.
100%.
And I agree with you, Vince. I think Mattia Binotto needs to go back to Hogwarts and start focusing on defeating Voldemort rather than running a Formula One team. You need a true manager. You need a Gordon Murray. You need a fucking Ron Dennis. You need someone who can manhandle these fucking nerds. I mean, dude, I'm sorry. They put a nerd in charge of their team, and look what happened. Who is the worst team principal on the grid right now?
Benito, with Claire on a close second.
Is he worse than Claire Williams?
I don't think he's worse than Claire.
I mean, Claire has a history of being just a tremendous heap of trash.
Okay. Here we go. You have a Formula One team. You have to pick one of these three people to run your team. Okay. It's Claire Williams, Mattia Binotto, or Captain Renault. What's his name?
Cyril Beatable.
That's it.
A Beatable? Ooh, that's a hard one. I'd have to probably just go with a Beatable.
What shit sandwich do you want, Mr. Renault hat?
That's not a sandwich that I want to eat. And it's, I'm going to argue it's not a Renault hat, sir. It's a Danny Rick hat.
Okay.
Got
all right.
3 there. I support Rick as evidence of my Chewy energy drink shirt, not the Renault team.
Okay. Okay.
Can I just pull out of F1? Do I have to?
No.
There's a follow-up question to this.
Beatable's French, so he's a pushover. So sorry, France. I don't want Cyril Beatable.
Sorry to all of our listeners in France, of which we have.
Claire Williams is a proven fuckhead. I mean,
by process of elimination,
I've got to have Mattia Binotto, just because he inherited Ferrari and he hasn't completely tanked them yet, but he's
working on it.
He was given too good of a situation. I feel like almost he was supposed to elevate them up. This guy was touted as
he was given a championship,
the like savant, Rain Man, a beautiful mind motherfucker to come into this team. See all the fucking numbers in the sky, translate it to fucking Ferrari jalopy, and then, nope, he's shat the bed 2 seasons now.
Yep.
They cheated in his first, and then they're shitting the bed now. And all the other Ferrari power units are shitting the bed. Put the nerds back in the fucking classroom. All right? You need a manager. You need a team manager. You need someone to fucking lay down the law.
I'm glad someone to grab them by the balls and let them know who's boss.
Someone to slap them across the back of the head.
You spank that ass, Les.
I spanked that ass, all right? I mean, but Arriva Bene wouldn't have fucking put up.
Bene. I like that.
That was good.
That was good.
Dude. And I mean,
Arriva Bene.
I mean, Claire's just a fucking pushover with an ostrich. You know, she's an emu with her hand in the sand. She wants to believe that Williams can return back to fucking. Yeah, fuck off. Her, you know, she wants to think that she has Juan Pablo Montoya still. You know, she's still stuck in those fucking shithole years. You know, it's like, bitch, your car ain't good. Your drivers are shit, minus George Russell. Thank God. Fuck you guys. I said minus George Russell.
I know. Right. I know.
Okay. But I mean, goddamn, we put through the years of Sorokin and Stroll. Are you kidding me?
That's true.
Those are some bad years.
That was the dark times.
Still claims to be.
If 2020 was a driver lineup.
Yeah.
You know, we want to say that. Oh, she wants to keep on saying that. Oh, we're an independent team and yada yada. Like, shut the fuck up. Times have changed. Sir Frank, unfortunately, left the team in bad hands. So, dude, out of deduction, it's like, do I want a pushover nerd or an incompetent, you know, person who has their head in the sand? Dude, you got to go with the pushover. Dude, if I'm the manager, if I'm owning the team, I want a pushover so that I can enact what I want.
There you go. So you get Mattia Bonata.
A beatable.
What? A beatable?
Yeah, a beatable.
That's what that whole rant led up to.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
No, I don't want Benito. Benito thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And it's like, yeah, dude, no, you're wrong. What he's doing is wrong, but he's never going to change his ways because he's a stubborn Italian.
Okay. Here's the follow-up question. We're back to our theoretical. You're running a Formula One team.
Okay.
Who do you put in charge of anybody on the grid? What team principal do you pick?
On any of the grid?
Anybody.
Ooh. John, do you have yours?
You know what? Kind of a weird one.
I know. I have a feeling where you're going. Continue.
Otmar, snap now.
Yeah.
I was going to say Hauser.
Think about it. That team runs. They've always done like more than they should have with the amount of money that they had. Right? They've always run well. They don't really fuck shit up a lot. And you don't really hear about it, like internal conflict or anything. Like you look at Red Bull and you got Christian Horner, who I like Christian Horner, but you don't know what you're getting out of him. You always hear the PR story, I feel like.
He plays favorites, and he tries to say that he doesn't.
Yeah, and honestly, I make that statement like Otmar, but it's really close between him and Gunther Steiner.
See, the problem with Gunther, it's like, dude, if Gunther had more of a backbone, he would have been able to get rid of those drivers.
What?
Yeah, I'll agree.
Really?
Yeah.
1,000%. If he puts on a facade that he doesn't put up with this shit.
I disagree.
How?
He hates them. He hates Roman Grosjean and Kevin
for the last 2 to 3 seasons. So how is he still doing that? All right, if you were the team manager or you're the GM, all right, and then you tell the owner that this guy sucks and won't let us win or place better than what we do, but the team owner goes, no, I want to keep him. What do you just bend over backwards and let him, fucking have your way? Are you kidding me?
So the guy that's paying you a fuck ton of money, who owns the team, whose name's on the car.
All right. So John, if you own the team and I was the team principal and I said we need to keep Grosjean,
we need to keep him.
Yeah, are we keeping him?
Well, if in this scenario, no, I don't think you would. But I'm the owner, so you do what I say.
No.
then you're
but
gone.
See, if
too.
you were a manager who had a backbone,
I'll run the team myself.
I'm going to get somebody that's going to do what I say. That's the thing is.
Well, then, if Steiner valued putting Haas above, right? If someone was going to have pride in what they do and not just buckle at the last second to the bidding of that, right? Well, then, okay, we have Gunther Steiner. Dude, he should have made the push to get rid of fucking Grosjean. Are you kidding me?
He did. But it's been said that Gene Haas gave Grosjean the chance because he believed in the team and he stuck with the team when it was a startup and everybody said it was going to do shit.
Gene Haas needs to go back to fucking NASCAR.
Lest we forget that Grosjean arguably saved the team last year.
That too. Gene Haas came out and he said he rewarded the loyalty of Grosjean, and that's why he stayed in the team.
Yeah, and look at where that's got him. The fucking
I didn't say it was the right move, but I also don't agree that Gunther Steiner's a pushover. That guy shoots straighter than probably anybody else on the grid.
Yeah, but, I'd want someone to almost challenge me, right? If I know if you're wrong and he tells you the right thing to do, but you force him to do the wrong thing, and then he buckles to that, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? I mean, fuck.
I don't see Gunther Steiner as a pushover. I think that he is probably, like, if you put him in a team that had the resources, I bet you he'd do a great job.
So where should he move to? Where would be his ideal setting?
Anywhere. Well, everybody's ideal setting's fucking a team at the front.
So kick out Christian Horner, put in Gunther Steiner.
I bet you he'd do a great job.
You think he could push the Red Bull to get above?
I think that he wouldn't hinder the team. I mean, I think you're at the limit of your engineering staff and whatnot, but I think it would.
Okay, but let's talk about drivers. Since Horner plays favorites, we've established that as a common theme with us. Do you think Gunther would let Verstappen get away with being Verstappen, hitting the wall at the formation lap?
Shit happens. You can't stop it all from happening.
But would Gunther be okay with Albon coming out and talking shit about being put into traffic?
Yeah, I don't think he would care because
I think he'd take that well.
Yeah, I think Gunther shoots straight, and he would let his driver shoot straight.
You're slowly convincing me, John. I'll agree with you there in that situation. I said it out loud. But I mean, I wouldn't want Christian Horner. Fuck that guy. Holy shit.
We all know how Vince feels about Christian Horner.
Fucking limey toad. And I mean, Total Wolf. I mean,
I mean, I'm gonna be the boring one, and I'm gonna say the smart money means I get Total Wolf as a fucking team owner, because that's who I was. When you asked this question 20 minutes ago, before Vince got all the way around to where he was going to, my money was on Total Wolf. I'd pick Toto over pretty much everybody else.
I kind of forgot that I could pick Total Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Toto's the safe pick there.
Yeah. But I don't know. When Rosberg was in the team and Hamilton was in the team, there was a lot of desk banging going on.
But I think that's more because Nico Rosberg's ego is way bigger than it needs to be because his dad was in F1. And we obviously saw that with he get his title and he fucking just fucks off. He doesn't defend it. He doesn't do anything like that. Him having his being Rosbergian, being fucking Monegasque and German and whatever else he raced under. That man's got a whole bunch of other issues, and that's why all the desk banging was going on.
Quick sidebar here.
Yes, sir.
That fan board with Nico Rosberg.
Fuck that. I was so mad when I saw that.
I think the fan board is a really stupid idea, first of all. Let me just throw that out there. I think it's really kind of cringy.
Yep.
But it's even worse when you throw Nico Rosberg up there. Because what is he doing there? Why?
Who knows?
We finally got him out of the paddock. We don't need him back in the sport.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
the first thing that I saw was I thought this fucker was gone. Yeah. Why am I seeing him again on the stupid fan cam?
The only thing that's come out of it that has been great is all of the memes.
Yes.
Been fantastic.
The memes have been good. You are 100% there.
But I mean, Verstappen has that also. Daddy was in Formula One as well, so.
Yeah, but at least Yoss did interesting things like catching on fire.
Yeah.
Thank God, right? I don't know. I mean, it's the nepotism almost there. It's like just.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Lance Stroll is keeping his seat. It's nepotism, 100%.
Yeah.
That is the case study of 1,000% of nepotism.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking bastards.
Do we have anything else going on here?
I'm gonna be honest. I got to piss, and we've been going at this for an hour and a half. I didn't think we'd get this far, actually.
I didn't think we would either. To be completely honest,
I think it's an okay time to wrap up. We still got the preview that we'll record.
Hour and a half,
We still got the preview we got to record for Silverstone. We'll do that sometime next week. Gonna do a quick turnaround on this one. I'm basically just gonna take the whole raw video footage and just upload it to YouTube once I get that, which is a good time to plug our social media. We just made a YouTube page. You can find us on YouTube, the SGSB F1 Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter at Slamming Gears F1. Give us a follow there. It'd mean a lot if you share us. Find us whatever you're listening to on podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Android, whatever. We're everywhere.
Give us a rating.
Suck. At least my job sucks. It'd be cooler if I could do this and other things full time. So, plug over.
Sponsor us, Lavazza.
Yeah, Lavazza, Smirnoff, Corona Seltzer, Michelob Ultra,
Guinness. I've been drinking Guinness this whole time. I love Guinness.
I'll tell you what, John. Fuck you that you don't like. I've been drinking a fuck ton of Terramana recently, and if The Rock and Terramana was sponsored this podcast, I'd probably die.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a podcast anymore.
You're right. So that would be counterintuitive.
Be in the gutter. So yeah, don't do that, Terramana.
Sick.
All right. Well, if that's gonna be it.
Thanks for making it this far.
Yep. Thanks for watching/listening.
Let us know what you think. I don't know. Maybe 2 people watch this. Maybe 10 people watch this. Let us know if you like this format. We'll continue it. I'll continue to record every single one. If you like seeing our ugly mugs, if you like seeing fucking Lex Grossman and Nico Rosberg, we'll continue this as a fucking pseudonym and a character for the show. But it's been fun. I like this. I'm really excited to put this up.
Yeah. Well, until next time, I'm John.
I'm Vince.
I'm Braden.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.